Hey, hi everybody. Welcome back to Lady Arcade's Super Showcase 2023, and I am so pleased and excited to introduce Splatter Master with Gala. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the run?
Yep. Hello, I'm Galasrinie, and I'm going to be showing off the 80% normal speedrun for Splattermaster. Splattermaster is a pretty obscure PlayStation 2 game that came out a while ago, but I'm super excited to get to show it off because it's really cute and creepy and just a lot of fun. So the time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Right. So this is Splattermaster. Splattermaster was a PlayStation 2 game released a part of the Simple 2000 series, which was a series of games developed in Japan on low budget. So this was basically like an indie game of indie game of the PlayStation 2. So it is a beat 'em up game. So you're going to be seeing lots of punches and kicks throughout the course of the run. There's also a mechanic in the game where our little character can use a chainsaw to slice open enemies like that. And if you get multiple enemies in a slice, you get extra currency, which is going to be really important for the run because currency we're going to be wanting to buy some upgrades and stuff like that. So we're going to need that. There's also barrels you can break open to get items. Going to be getting to showcase what it's like to when you slash multiple enemies, you get like a little screen like that, and you get more currency for it as a reward. There's a frog there, we slice open him. So because this game, the way that it works is that each screen there are going to be certain enemies that spawn, and then once you defeat the required enemies, you can then progress onward. So that's the whole premise of the game. So we're going to be wanting to do that very fast today, hopefully. So one of the things I focus on to try and make it fast is the enemies that are required and not the enemies that are not required. Right now we have a little mini boss, which is this tractor. We just beat him up. That little enemy there is just chilling into the sun, looking at the sunset. We don't have to deal with him. He's alright. I'm going to go to this corner so that we can get more fuel for our chainsaw. The chainsaw is one of the most powerful mechanics in the game. So resource management for the run is really important. Because you want to use it particularly on more harder enemies to defeat. Because it's typically a one-shot kill for the majority of enemies. There are these little birds that try and race at you. And there's all these different types of enemies throughout the game. So with the story of the game, and kind of to explain the enemy designs and that, is the story of the game is that there was a wizard that came to town, and he started turning lifeless objects to life that are evil. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Now, because the first boss is coming up, I want to ask if we hit the incentive to watch the boss cutscenes. I should have asked that before I started, sorry.
We absolutely did meet that incentive, so we get to watch these boss cutscenes, which I'm very excited to watch.
Okay. They're just like little intros to the goofy bosses of each stage, so that's kind of fun to get to show off since this game is not really popular. It's a little bit obscure, so it's nice to get to show it off to people who haven't seen it for the first time. So this is our first boss. It's a crow. So what you can do with the basic attack of the game is you can actually stun him throughout the whole phase. There are these little enemies in the fight as well that can really annoy you, but if you just keep going, you can make it flash like that. And just beat them up. And that's the end of stage 1. Cool. Very good. Now we're on stage 2, which is the ghost street. It's more like a city street looking stage. Gonna try and hit multiple enemies together to clear them out. Also, one thing with making this game fast is that there are often limits to how many enemies can be on screen at once. So you want to kill enemies to allow more enemies to spawn in. So like right now there's only 3, and once you defeat those 3, more will be allowed to spawn in from this car over here. there are also these trash cans, which are actually also enemies as well. And they're not required enemies, but I will still attack them and get rid of them because by killing them, it allows the required enemies to spawn in a bit faster. And I'm going to make sure that I pick up lots of currency from the coins that drop. So there's an enemy that falls down there. We use a chainsaw to spin around. The spinning with the chainsaw is really powerful. There's also some other moves you can do with the chainsaw, but I focus mostly on doing that one because it has such a wide range. We just beat up these dudes, pick up coins, and we go to the next. So there's a shop there. There's a shopkeeper in the game that gets introduced in this stage. And after this stage, we'll have access to a shop after every stage is completed. So we get to meet her for the first time. She's very cute. I'm going to buy some more life and gas upgrades. That was really good. I got to buy a lot of them, so that means my currency is very good at this point. Very happy about that for the marathon. There are these not ogre, what do you call them? Stone statues of pigs. Can't remember the name. Gargoyle pigs. There, that's what I wanted to say. Because they're made out of stone. So we just slice them and we can go to the boss. This is the boss of the second stage. The cutscenes are pretty short, but they have a little bit of charm to them to get to introduce the boss fights. So the objective of her fight is to throw these burgers at her that she throws. So she throws them at you, but they're also bombs. So you have to hit them back at her. She has a few different moves that she can do, and she's a pretty random boss fight in that this is the only move that we want her to do where she throws the burgers at you. But she can do quite a few moves that are really slow. Thankfully, she's being pretty good to us right now, so that's nice. We just need one more hamburger from her. So she can do this move where she lets her customers out to come and see you, or she can do this laser from her mouth. The laser from her mouth wastes a lot of time. So we really don't want that happening, and that was really good. She was very well behaved for our marathon run. Yay. Her eyes pop out and, well, she's dead. Well, she was like a robot. Yep, very good. That's the end of stage 2. And yeah, now we can access the shopkeeper whenever we finish a stage. Very good. Now we have stage 3, which is I think it's called, the Scare Factory. One thing also really good about this game, which is surprising for like low budget games, at least like during the PlayStation 2 period, is the music is so good in this game. There's lots of guitar riffs and a lot of cool music in this game with like organs and all that kind of stuff. So you'll get to hear that too throughout the run. Using the chainsaw more for these mobs of enemies that come in. This speedrun is also really approachable for new players because it is a rather short run, and yeah, especially I'm playing on normal difficulty, so there is a little bit more resource management on normal, but on the easy difficulty run it's even more approachable because you don't lose as much health when you get hit by enemies, and you can use chainsaw a lot more. Yeah, you don't consume chainsaw as much on easy difficulty, but we're playing on normal, so yeah, there's a bit more resource management. There's this guy in a trash can in the corner. I have to beat him up so that the next required enemy comes. We get this little pressure thing to push down those buttons so we can go through. I'm going to try and use this to my benefit. So it tries to get me, but I'm going to try and use it to get the enemies if I can, because it's a lot stronger than what I can do. There are going to be enemies spawning at the back here. Sometimes the enemies themselves will run into it, but that doesn't always happen. This is a new enemy type that gets introduced. It is like a little fuel dude, but it has a mask on, and that mask means it's got a bit of armor, so it requires more hits. This is also a new enemy type, which is exclusive to this chapter. It's like a snail, and I call them the policemen because they have a little siren on them, so I always think they're like police. A snail police. Yeah, so that's what I call them. Slow policemen. We hit him with that. Lots of coins here. Very good. Gonna be very good for getting upgrades. These little spits of steam you have to be careful of because they will stagger our protagonist. Our protagonist is a scarecrow. He was one of the inanimate objects that came to life when the wizard turned objects to life. But unlike the evil objects that are following the wizard, he wants to help the humans. Oh, I just skipped that. Okay, that's alright. So this is a gear. This is a gear boss for this stage. Well, our strategy is to punch and kick him in this corner. He can do this laser move here. We just want to stay in this corner. Even though he damages us, we just tank that and go back up. Because he cannot be damaged during that move anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We just want to keep punching and keep kicking, and then eventually he goes away. Very good. Cool. End of stage 3, we'll see how our currency is. Very good. If you have any donations or anything you want to say, you're most welcome to do so now.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm delighted to. We have some love for you coming in a donation. We have $20 from Christo that says, Gala Gang, good luck on the run, and to all the runners. And we actually do have the results for the ending choice, so whenever you would need those, let me know.
Yep, you can tell me now. I'll be curious to know.
The bad ending choice
Wow.
won by $5 at 50, and good ending was at 45. So that bad ending is what we'll be seeing there.
Cool, okay. I actually do like the bad ending, so I'm pretty excited to get to show that. Because I feel like it's a bit more meaningful than the good ending, but it's cool. Okay, so yeah, we'll get to show off the bad ending this run. Very cool. So this chapter, this stage is in a forest. We're going to be seeing Mushroom Man, lots of bats. Using the chainsaw downwards there, I try and get all the enemies together. Knowing where and when to use the chainsaw can save a lot of time. Use it there to get rid of those 2 frogs. Yeah, the little mushrooms, they have, some of them have drums or they have a little trumpet. They're rather cute. This game has a lot of charm, so yeah, I am happy to get to show it off a little bit. The speedrunning scene for this game only started a couple of months ago. Me and a few others started speedrunning it. Me, Yorkie, and Pizza Cat are the other users that have submissions on the leaderboard. Yeah, we picked this up not too long ago. Even though it's been around for quite a while, but yeah. Sometimes it takes a while to get a speedrun going for it. So, yeah, we've been working on that. Get health from the box and fuel, and now we have the boss of this stage. It's a conductor mushroom. Oh dear. I have to be really careful with this boss. This boss is one of the scarier bosses in that this mist can double hit you or even triple hit you and you lose so much health. So especially for the marathon, I want to be really careful here. Because you cannot underestimate how much damage this thing gives you. But yeah, you'll notice like he tries to conduct the other little mushrooms to sing. So they're really cute. He also has a move where he tries and pokes you with his conductor stick. I'll just show it off because it's cute. Yeah, and that's the boss for the forest stage.
I'm a little mystified about how cute these enemies are. Like, it's unfair how cute they are.
Yeah. They got that balance of cute and creepy, which I really like. I like that kind of, yeah. I like that a lot. So now we're in the train canyon, or Wild West as I like to call this one. So it's got like a real cowboy setting. out in the Wild West. And the speed limit for the train is apparently 50. It says right there on the train track sign. There's gonna be all these birds here. They can want to charge at me while I'm off screen, which is really annoying. Sometimes that happens. They just decide to do that. Nothing I can do much about that. When these enemies spawn, I'm hoping to just push them into the holes. There's one that goes here. Just try and push him in the hole, because that way you don't have to do so many hits. A lot of enemies come down here and we just slice them all together. Very good. Get those two and now we wait for all 3 of these bats to come out. Hitting flying enemies is pretty hard at times, so using the chainsaw just really helps with that. We're going to use chainsaw for each of these spawns that comes out, just to really deal with them really fast. And also this stage in particular is really good for getting currency. Oh dear. Okay. That's alright. So there's a crying baby in that train. I'm just gonna show that off. That's part of the creepy and not cute part of this game. There are these enemies here. They have their masks on, so they are a bit tougher. Hopefully get a little bit of chainsaw there. Get them, and then there's this flying enemies. There's all these rocks falling from the sky during this part, which can be a bit annoying because they do hit you quite a bit. Get rid of them. There'll be more coming here. These enemies also have a launch move where they throw their whole body at you to try and get you. And I don't like it when that happens because it's pretty hard to avoid. The birds, they run at you like that. The bats, I'm gonna have to try and headbutt since I don't have a chainsaw right now, but that's okay. One of the upgrades I got was double jump, which becomes a bit more important later, but that's alright. Now we have the boss for this stage. So we've seen the train that's been going past for this stage is the boss fight. Someone in my chat when I've run this said, "Oh wow, Thomas the Tank looks a bit cursed," or "What's happened to Thomas the Tank? Something happened to him." Oh goodness.
He's made one too many trips. It's kind of worn down on him. Please understand.
Yeah. Let's end that one. Now I'm gonna be buying a dummy. Not for the next chapter, but for the chapter after. Having a dummy is going to be really important. So the dummy item in the game is a revive. So when you hit 0 HP, you can actually revive and keep going. So that's going to be very important for the final stage because the final stage has a lot of enemies and can be really aggressive. So that helps with just tanking hits and just being able to go fast. So we purchased that item to really help us out with that. This is the snow level. Lots of snow everywhere. I really like in the game how each level has its own unique setting. That's really nice. I like that. This stage also has one of my favorite songs in the game as well. With lots of punches and kicks. There's a lot of required enemies to kill here. Now we keep going. There are these fishes as well that come out of the water. They can be really mean. But they're scripted. So if you know when they're going to come, they'll always be there. They're not random. So here you can actually bait them. I jumped a little bit too far. That's okay. You know, yeah, because it's all dependent on where our character is located. So they'll try and dive bomb at you when you hit a certain point in moving towards the end of the stage. Yeah, very good. Gonna be some enemies here, we're just gonna have to get rid of them. Usually when you use a chainsaw there, you also catch a lot of the fish as well. Yeah, all good. Might have a little bit of chainsaw for this fight. Now this is the boss of this stage. So this is the moon. We're versing the moon. Like how the moon affects the tides in the water. We're versing the moon, and he has this move where he can send the tides. He has a little squid on the side of his head. And I always have a theory that the squid is actually manipulating the moon. The squid is the actual evil, not the moon itself. like the squid's like a parasite affecting the moon or something like that. Anyway, that's just a game of theory.
I had a thought that on the submarine it said K9 on the top, and there was a moon in the background, so I was like, oh my gosh, is the boss gonna be werewolf themed? And I'm kind of a little upset now.
Aww.
But the squid controlling the moon is even better, actually.
Okay, so we defeated that one. Now, because we're doing bad ending, we don't pick up the crystal that's there. So to get good ending, you need to at least have a complete save file on your memory card on the PlayStation 2 and have no deaths during your playthrough, and you can get the good ending. But because we're going for bad ending, we're not going to pick up the crystal, and we're going to see what happens. So yeah, this is the final chapter. There are a lot of mobs that are here. So what I'm going to be trying to do is hit these guys a little bit and then chainsaw them, because these guys have a bit more health than the typical, like, just the enemies that don't have masks. When I played this casually, it was it was really hard because these guys can be really aggressive and they can attack as soon as they spawn in. And because there's so many of them, they can really overwhelm you with attacks. Check these boxes for any resources. Sometimes I have some. More are spawning in. So with enemies, like with so many enemies on the screen that I need to kill, often I'll go to a corner and try and bring them all in the corner with me. So then when I do my kick move, I hit a lot of them together with the kick. Just go to a corner where, or hopefully somewhere where I'll be able to hit a lot of them all together. There's a lot of them that spawn in, because this is kind of the finale, so they're like, alright, let's just give them everything that they can do. But yeah, there's a lot of mobs, and then there's gonna be not just one, but 2 boss fights at the end, so... yeah, the second boss fight doesn't have a cutscene, so that's a bit sad. But the first one does have a little bit of an intro, so that would be nice to see. And use chainsaw a bit there just for them. These ones that jump cannot be underestimated because they will jump and then land straight on top of you, making it really hard for you to attack them. There's a new enemy type for this final stage, which is this. I can't remember the name of what these are called. They're like a casket, a case with spikes, like a torture device. I can't remember what they're actually called, but yeah, they're them.
Honestly, if I didn't have to name them, I'd probably remember, but now that I feel semi-put on the spot, I am also blanking.
Yeah, I'm blanking too. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, they open up and then they spit out these little blue ghost faces. And they can be, yeah, very punishing with how much damage that they do. So you gotta be really careful with them. But yeah, this whole final chapter is the... I think it's the haunted castle of the wizard. So there's a lot of creepy stuff.
Chat has us covered. They're called Iron Maidens.
Iron Maiden, that's right! That is what they're called! They use their reach, that's right. That's exactly what they're called.
Chat's the best, thank you, chat.
Because, yeah, in my head I was like, there's also a band named after them, and I couldn't even think of what it's called.
I think if you had given me that hint, I think I might have put it together, but honestly, I had no straws in that race.
Yeah. So this is the wizard. He is a guy that's all blue and wearing purple. Could kind of be a joke that he's kind of like an evil Megamind.
I was gonna say, he looks like Megamind's really strung out cousin. Like, if this dude was like really stressed and going through college, this is what Megamind would look like.
Yeah, he's funny. So, for this fight, because he's flying, the main way that you can do damage to him is by jumping and headbutting. Like that. If he comes to the floor, which sometimes he does, like he'll fly close to the floor, I can use kicks to hit him, but that's pretty rare when that happens. So we just have to try our best and just hit him every time that he teleports in. Sometimes he won't teleport and I can hit him several times, but usually you hit him and he teleports away. So what he can do in his fight is summon bosses. So he can summon the Crow, which is the first boss. He can also summon the Gear, which was the boss of the third stage. And then later on, he can also summon the Mushroom boss and the Moon boss as well. So he doesn't summon the train though. I don't think he can summon the train.
I don't know if there's room in there for that.
I don't think there's enough room to summon the train. Yeah, or if he can summon the train, I haven't seen it as a move that he can do just yet.
What if he summoned the train and it just came in and like knocked the throne over and just took up the whole back area? Like he remodeled with the train.
Yeah, if you let him sip, I'll show you. If you let him sip his glass, he summons the Gear like that. Typically we hit him before he gets a chance to do that. The Crow summon though, he is invincible during, you can't hit him, and it's instant, so you can't even predict if it's going to happen or not. So that's one of the moves that is the most punishing in his fight, because you can't do damage to him and he does damage to you, and he does quite a bit of damage to you if you get hit by the Crow, which is not very nice, because you could be in front of him trying to attack him and then he just summons the Crow and completely just cannot do damage to him. Anyway, there we go. Yay! So we defeated the wizard in that form, and then he turns into this form. I feel really bad that there's not a cutscene for him transforming into this, because I think that would be pretty cool if they did. But so it just goes to this fight where he's all big and looking like a big monster. Now his fight is a bit rough in terms of time because you can't reach him very well. I can reach him with the kicks that you do, and I have a little bit of chainsaw that I can use on him, but particularly when he gets to his second phase in this fight, it can be really hard to reach him. Also, the fireballs are not very nice because they have a big range. Kind of just hoping he doesn't block or do fireballs. When he does the sweeping with his hand, that's kind of one of the better moves that he can do. He summons the poison. So that goes up there, so if I jump and hit it, I will get damaged by it. So I just have to jump. So yeah, when he has his head back like that, I can't do damage. I have a bit of chainsaw. Usually you want a lot more chainsaw for his fight. Just because this second phase, like, you know, it eats a lot of time to have to go through, like, those parts. Especially when he roars instantly. He can stay a little bit and do hand moves, but, yeah. He's not doing that. So for the time will be ending soon after I defeat this boss. Hopefully we'll be soon. He keeps doing that, which is very unfortunate. He's just summoning that moon over and over again. I got like 2 more hits on him with the kicks, and he should be doing... Jump over the ocean. He did that, which is not a very nice move. Oh, so close. I tried to think that a headbutt would get rid of him, but that's alright. Let's headbutt him for swag, and then that will be end time. And time!
GG's, the fake out, we were just like waiting in anticipation.
Now, the ending. But don't forget, without my power, you will go back to being a poor scarecrow as well. So because he defeated the wizard, what was keeping him alive, because the wizard had the power that kept him alive. So by defeating the wizard, our scarecrow protagonist dies. Yeah, very sad.
That is a bad ending.
That's a sad ending. So he lived. This scarecrow lived on a farm with an elderly lady and elderly man that he considered like his grandparents. That he wanted to protect and save the farm that was getting overridden by the wizard's monsters. So he went out on this journey for them. He wanted to save the humans, and in doing so, he sacrificed his life, and that's the bad ending. Yeah.
I'm not crying in the club, you are. That's so sad. Oh.
Our very courageous scarecrow. So you get this credits with the sad music. He did his job. Yeah. He did a good job.
We saved some time, but at what cost? What did it cost us? Just our humanity and his.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching and for having me. Lady Arcaders, thanks for having me showcase this run. This run is really approachable to get into, so if you're looking for like a shorter beat 'em up game, PlayStation 2 game to get into, I really recommend this one. It's really fun. You can like crank out runs like over and over. It's really good to play this game, and it has a lot of charm, and it's creepy and cute, and yeah, I really like it, so I'm glad I got to show it off. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for running this game. Everyone sit tight. We have a few closing words before we head to our raid for the night, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey, hi everybody. This is Lady Arcaders Super Showcase 2023. I hope you really just enjoyed that run of Splatter Master from Galasrinie, and give her another round of applause in the chat. That was really cute, but also really sad. But we don't have to continue to be sad, because we are going to be back tomorrow at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time with the Emo Art Showcase with Scala Kitty. And just so you know, there is a bid war open for that, for the showcase, for the character that is going to be drawn. There is the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb, which you just saw a couple hours prior, and then there's Judy the Bear Cub from Animal Crossing. Both are really cute, but they're also tied right now. Both are sitting at $40 each. So, if you would like to see either the Lamb or Judy the Bear Cub, go ahead and get those donations in. We're going to cut that off when we start in the morning, but we will be absolutely double checking it. And we also have a bid war open for Sonic 1 Forever's character choice. Amy is in an astounding, crushing girl boss power lead of $60 to Sonic's absolute nothing. But that's okay. Girl power goes. Make sure Amy stays in the lead. Girl power go, 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 go. Or you can tip the scales and you can donate for Sonic. And, that's a choice that you'll have to live with. We have $25 out of $200 for the Beat Mania Extra Stage incentive. That's going to happen a little bit later tomorrow, but we definitely have some time to let that ride. If you're interested in seeing what is going to go on tomorrow, you can use !schedule inside of the chat, and that will take you to our Hararo schedule, which will show you all the rest of the amazing content and showcases we have for the rest of the weekend. And we have been raising money for CARE. CARE works around the globe to save lives, defeat poverty, and achieve social justice. They seek a world of hope, inclusion, and social justice where poverty has been overcome and all people live with dignity and security. Founded in 1945, today CARE works in 110 countries, focusing on girls and women in their efforts because they are disproportionately affected by poverty and are the key to fighting it. So you can go to ladyarcaders.com/donate if you would like to donate to them. And if you would like to read more about CARE, you can go to www.care.org. But that is all from us for today. We will see you back bright and early tomorrow morning at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time with our opening showcase of emote art by the amazing Scala Kitty. Don't go anywhere though, because we're going to send you off to a raid with Zeldathon, and they are currently playing The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, and they are raising money for Charity Water. So hold tight, we'll get that raid going really soon. See you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.